Hey, in this video I'm going to tell you about 8 things to increase your confidence and make it very likely for you to achieve any of your goals. And you will also achieve them faster. Once you apply them, and most of them are very simple to do, you will not remain stuck for long toward achieving a goal, and you will actually, before you realize it, have achieved your goals. And if you don't do them, you're just missing out on just powerful techniques, and you will be at a disadvantage over your competition, because the most successful people actually do these things that I'm going to tell you about. And when you do them, you'll thank me for it. Believe me, it's going to be very useful to you. You're going to achieve your goals faster. It's going to be easier, and you're going to just oh my God, this is magic. You just whoa. And you're going to be at an insane advantage once you do this. And you can even just do a couple of them, and it still is going to be very useful to you. So, by the way, if you're new here, my name is Ivaldi Sako. I'm the founder of alreadygrowth.com, and here I help ambitious entrepreneurs build an empire or just live an awesome life. A life that is worth suffering for, because life is a lot of suffering, and we might as well make it worth it. I want you to help you become truly free and successful, and just enjoy your life as much as possible. So if that interests you, if you're about that, if you're about success, about freedom, about just living up to your potential, hey, subscribe on this show, YouTube channel, whatever, right? Subscribe. It's going to be very useful to you. Let's get into it. If you like the show, also subscribe, and comment down below what you thought about these 8 things. So, number 1, I'm going to tell you about these things in I'm going to try to tell you how I discovered them, how I thought about them, so you can just try to ask yourself, how can I use this? Okay, how can this be useful to me? Am I going to use this one? Am I not going to use this one? Because maybe some of them are not for you, right? But the main majority of them, you're going to want to use them because it's powerful. It's very powerful. And I'm going to tell you how. So, first thing, to achieve your goal, first of all, you need to be confident, right? Because if you're not confident, you're not going to be able to take the actions, right? You're not going to be able to take the action necessary, or maybe the amount of actions that is required to get to your goal. So, in order for you to be confident, confidence is in a spectrum. In a spectrum from there's confidence on one side and there's doubt on the other, right? These are the two opposites. If you're doubting a lot, you're not confident. If you're very confident, you don't have much doubts, right? And it's not either you are confident or you're not confident and you're completely full of doubt. It's to which degree, right? And we're trying to increase this, go as much as possible toward the confidence side. To do that, there are a lot of things that you can do, and these 8 things I'm going to be telling you about. By the way, my native language is not English, so please excuse my English. But you can understand me, so it's going to be still useful to you. Increase confidence and overcome self-doubt. First of all, you must. There's one thing that you can easily do, and I never do this, is give yourself credit. Giving yourself credit every time you do something, because it's good. Confidence comes when you try to do something. You tell yourself, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 5 a.m. I'm going to take a cold shower, right? It's hard. I'm going to just go to the gym. I'm not even going to train that hard. I'm just going to go to the gym, right? You tell yourself something, and then you must do it, right? And when you notice that I'm doing what I say I'm going to do, now you trust yourself more. This is what confidence is in a way, right? It's trusting yourself that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. When you know you are a person that respects himself, herself, right? You just respect your word, what goes out of your mouth. You actually follow through and do it. It builds up your confidence. But it's not the only thing that you need to do. There's one part to it that I never really do. I never give myself credit. I do, most of the time, I say something, I'm going to do it. This is the vast majority of the time I do this. But I never give myself credit. And so because of this, I'm not that confident because of this, right? I do so many things that not a lot of people are capable of doing, right? But maybe it's the case for you too. You're doing some things that you might say, I'm doing pretty good stuff, but because you don't give yourself credit for it, because you don't ascribe a value to it, it doesn't increase really your sense of confidence. It doesn't increase your confidence because you just don't give it value. You don't give it meaning. You need to pat yourself in the back and tell yourself, good job, Ivaldi. Hey, you did that. You said you were going to do that, and you did it well. Come on, you got to give yourself some credit here, right? Feel like there's a reward. Reward yourself mentally. Tell yourself, okay, this is good. You did that. Good job. If you don't tell yourself proactively that, to me personally, it doesn't happen automatically. For some people it does, for some people it doesn't. To me it doesn't. I feel like I should be doing more. I shouldn't reward myself for this because it's meaningless. With my goals, my goals are just so gigantic. I got big goals. Why would this matter? But it does matter. The small things build up onto each other's, and they become big things over the long term. So you need to put yourself, give yourself credits. Also, to increase your confidence, you must there's one thing. For example, I was injured. Maybe you've been injured at one point in your life and you couldn't move as you wanted to. A lot of athletes, when they get injured, they lose their confidence. I had the same thing. I injured my hands, my hips, my knees, and I couldn't move as much as I could before. And when I did that, when I injured, I couldn't move as much. I lost so much confidence. I had a lot of self-doubt, right? I was really not confident in this moment. And the reason is because I couldn't move as I would wanted to. When you move, your body becomes there's a physiological thing about your body moving and being confident in it, having your chest a little pumped up, right? Standing up, shoulders back, just looking up rather than looking down. All these things have a certain biological thing. Your mind believes because your body is in a confident body posture, right, or is moving fast, this increases your confidence. Your mind thinks, okay, we're good, we're safe, and so you can be confident. Oftentimes, when you're not confident, you're just a lot of doubts and fear, right? It's because of uncertainty. You're afraid of something. You just crunch down. You're trying to protect yourself, right? But if you're confident, you feel safe. You feel like everything's gonna be all right. And so, because of this, when you are injured, when you can't move as much, or when you don't just move as much, you feel less confident. When you're staying still, movement. If you are afraid of, a lot of people are, before doing a public speaking gig, they do a lot of jumping jacks. They raise their energy. They move their body fast, and they get on stage. How do they do it? They get on stage running, right? Oh, I'm running, hey, and they go and they just, even the comedians do that, right? It's because when you do this movement, when you just move with your body, it increases your confidence. And so that's a great tip that you need to do when, for example, if you're going for, if you're stressed out before an event, move. Just take into account, become aware of how your body is, right? If you crunch down, shoulders down and forward, and you got your arm crossed, right? It's just yeah, I don't feel confident, right? But if you just open up and you just smiling, looking up, moving fast, it increases your confidence. It makes you it makes you think that, oh, I am confident. wait a second. Your mind thinks like, I thought I was doubting, but in reality, I'm confident right now. And so it just like shifts your state. Number 2. These were like 2 things in one, like just 2 tips that are very useful to just increase your confidence. Like give yourself credit and move your body. Number 2, don't let failure and doubt. These are things basically that I just learn during my week, right? And when I notice a few things, I write down some things for me, and I just tell you about these. Like these are 8 things that I wrote down for me that would help me be more confident, less doubting, and also help me achieve my goals, right? By becoming more confident and just what I told you in the beginning. Don't let failure and doubt make you change course. Even the best fail. It's a normal part of the process to succeed. Feel the pain and stay in it. And make it fuel you to persevere and succeed. That's what I wrote down to myself, because I failed this week. I also won this week. I'm going to tell you about the win at the end, I think. And when you're in the midst of failure, some just thoughts pop up in your mind, right? Thoughts of, maybe am I good enough? Maybe, is this going to work? Am I going to stay like doing this, even if I don't know if it's going to work or not? Or am I going to change things up? And there are a lot of things that make you want to shift what you're doing when you shouldn't, really. Because maybe it's just a matter of like, you just gotta fail. That's it. You just like, there's a certain amount of failures that you need to go through to be able to achieve your goal. For example, in sales. In sales, you basically have to talk to a lot of people to be able to close one, right? You don't, especially in the beginning, when you're just launching a new company or anything like this, it's not the first person that you're going to talk to that is going to buy from you, right? Your conversion rate, even on a website, you have like thousands of people to get like 1 or 2% of people to buy from you. And so if you think, okay, whoa, there's 100 people that came on my website and none of them bought. What is going on? What's up? Why am I failing? Should I change things up? Maybe you just didn't do enough. Maybe you didn't have enough people coming onto your website. Because also averages show up when you do quantity. In large numbers, averages show up. And maybe you could have a 20% conversion rate, but it's going to happen once you hit 50 calls and not 20 calls, right? You could just have 20 calls go really bad, maybe not really bad, but not, people don't buy from you on 20 calls, and then the next 10 people do buy. And so you have an insane conversion rate just by doing like half the thing that you already did, because the averages just showed up in a just irregular way. Like it's not, you're going to close one, you're not going to close one. It's going to be much more, it's not going to have a perfect ratio, right? It's not going to happen in a sequence that you feel like is logical. It's going to happen like randomly. And so sometimes you're going to have a lot of failures before you get a lot of successes. And so because of this, you can't let failures dictate how you feel, or maybe this feeling dictate the actions that you take. Do not let your doubts convince you to quit or change something because you just had one failure. Even the best experienced failure, but it's because they stay in the game. They face the fear and the pain of the failure. They look at it, stay in it, to be able to learn from it and make it fuel them to get victory. Right? Make it fuel you. Every step that you take and you fail, make it fuel you. Make it like there's a certain energy that you get, an emotion that you get, you can transform that and use it positively to actually move forward. Number 3. This is a quote that I came across when I was in a vacation in Spain. I was taking some vacation in Spain at the beach, and I heard that in a podcast, and I don't remember the podcast. I think it was on Ed Milet. It was a guest of one of his guests that said this, and it was extremely useful, especially when you come across failure, because you want to achieve your goal, right? You want to be confident, and then you might be confident, you're going to achieve your goal, and then your confidence is going to decrease because of the failure, because of the obstacle that you come in contact with. And so maybe when you do some calls, maybe when you want to get your dream partner, your dream girl, your dream man, you're going to have rejection. And I heard this quote and it was amazing. Because, for example, this week I had a call with a business owner, and she hung up on me, right? We had an appointment, and then I was talking, and she just hung up on me, like for no reason. Like we were talking and everything, and it was like going pretty normally, and at the end it was like 30 minutes or something, and she hung up on me, and I was like, "Whoa, that was rude." I didn't like it, of course, but I realized like this didn't make me feel good, made me feel like I'm kind of like some doubting thoughts. But then I remembered this quote, and this quote was, "Rejection is God's protection." And this is extremely, just remind yourself of this every time you feel this doubt, this like people telling you no, people telling you like rejecting you. Remind yourself of this because it's so powerful. It's true as well. Rejection is God's protection. I realized after I remembered this quote that, oh my God, if I did take on this business owner as a client and she hung up on me, I think it would have been a nightmare if she had become a client. Like if she didn't hung up on me and we continued the call and I had her to buy and to become a partner with us, it would have been a nightmare to be working with her. It would have been a nightmare. I would have not liked working with this person. And I just realized this after she hung up on me. I was like, oh my God, thank you, God, right? Thank you. I'm glad she rejected me. I'm really glad. I'm happy this happened. Because oftentimes you don't realize it, but rejection is a good thing. Like this is the new way you need to think about rejection. Rejection is good. You need to look for rejections because the more rejection you go through, the closer you get to success. And also rejections in and of itself is protecting you from a future that God knows isn't good for you, right? If you're not a believer, I suggest you do. I suggest you do believe in God. I believe in God. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm Christian, Catholic. And I don't really care of being Catholic. I really just believe in Jesus Christ. And I think it's really useful. Like having this belief increases your confidence a lot. Like it puts your confidence not in your own hands, which are volatile, right? Like sometimes you're not going to do the stuff that you should do. You're imperfect. Like human beings are imperfect. But if you put your confidence in God, it is something that is, yes, external to you in a pot, but it is also in you, right? So it is in you, but it's not necessarily like you controlling it. And so it's extremely powerful to have this belief in God and having this thought of rejection is God's protection. If you do believe in that, it's going to be so much easier for you to deal with rejection and deal with all of the failures that are going to come through. And so because it's going to be easier for you to deal with this, you're more likely to stick with it. And because of this, you're more likely to succeed and achieve your goals. Number 4. The words you say have power. And I noticed this as well when you see, there's a certain bias that we have, us as human beings, is when we think of an idea. For example, you're thinking of, I don't have an example right now. You're thinking of something. You're thinking of the answer to a question that you're asking yourself. Okay, did I just close the windows of my house before I get out? Did I do this? And the ease with which you remember the answer, you remember you closing the windows, dictates how much you believe you actually did. How much true this answer is. If you struggle to find the answer to this question, if it's not coming up really easily and fast, you feel like it might not be true. But if you come up with it extremely easily, you just like, it comes to your mind very quickly, the answer, then it must be really true. And it's the same thing when you, for example, you read a word. For example, this is why words in bold make you think that it is a true statement. When you have a sentence on a website that is in bold, you think it's true, right? It's because you can see it more clearly and you can read it with more ease, you think it's true. And the same thing is when you say something. You'll see people that are really good at sales, they articulate their thoughts and their ideas and their words very, very well, right? Just like I'm trying to do right now. If each word is carefully pronounced, it is like there's this bias for it that it's supposed to be more true because you understand it with more ease, right? You understand it faster, and because you understand it faster, you think it's more true. And so words have power, especially when you pronounce them well. But just words in and of themselves, they have power, especially when you're in a negative feedback loop. There's like certain words that you can tell yourself without being necessarily aware of it. For example, you have a negative experience, for example, in a bad call, right? And you're just starting up doing sales calls. Oh, this went really bad. I must be terrible at sales. And there's this ongoing thoughts in your mind. Oh, I must be terrible at sales. I really am terrible at sales. And you have this thought that creates another thought, which reinforces the first thought. And it's a negative feedback loop, right? It continues to loop, and you're just in a cycle that will demolish your confidence. But you can reverse it. And you can take the power and with words affirm, right? Do affirmations and affirm, I'm pretty good at sales. I'm becoming better at sales. And then the next thought is going to be, oh, I'm really becoming better at sales. Oh, you know what? I'm becoming better at sales. I'm really great salesman. Oh, that's true. I'm really great salesman. And then it's a positive feedback loop. And because you believe you are better at sales, you're going to do better actions. And so you're actually going to have this feedback that you are better at sales. And you're going to close someone, right? You're going to get someone to buy. And then it's going to reinforce it. And I promise you, this is very powerful. Once you use it and you take control of what you think, because this is what it is. It's like thoughts in your mind. And if you have a negative thought, it's like a virus in your mind. But if you put a good thought in it, and you make it grow, and you make it have a positive feedback loop, right? I'm really good in social situations. I'm really good at public speaking. Oh, I'm really good at public speaking. Whoa, I'm just definitely great at sales, at public speaking. And then you actually do the things, and you become actually great at sales, and you actually become good at public speaking. So words have power. So use them carefully. At the same time, don't speak out things that are negative towards you. I'm bad at something. because you speak this over yourself. You speak this and you actually make it come true because you make yourself believe this. Number 5, and this is becoming even more powerful because yes, the word that you say, like this is something that is in your mind, that is not really in reality, and then once you say it, it enters reality. It makes a sound, and the reality that you can touch and see and hear, right? And the other way you can do this is by writing the things down. Once you write things down, you put something that is in your thoughts in the beginning, you put it down in reality. And you write down your goals on paper. And once I used to do this a lot, and my goals, I used to achieve them faster. I stopped doing it. My goals took longer to achieve, like for me to achieve them. And this week, I decided to, okay, I'm going to get a client this week. I wrote this down. And I promise you, I had a feeling Monday that Friday I was going to have a client. I was like, yeah, I feel it. And you know what? Because I journal every day, I actually wrote it down. I actually wrote it down on my note app on Monday. I promise you this is true. I wrote it down on Monday, and then I realized Saturday I went back to check. Like I often do a weekly after action report, right? I just read back what was in my journal for the week and see, okay, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What were my thoughts? And I read that I was going to have a client on Friday. And I actually wrote it down on my phone. But the goal that I wrote down was on paper. I wrote it down on paper. I'm going to, with a real pen and paper. I wrote it down. I'm going to have a client this week. This was my goal of the week. And then I had a feeling that I was going to have it on Friday, so I wrote it down on my note app. And it actually came true. I had a client on Friday. I promise you, this is I was completely astonished when I wrote, I read that Saturday. I was like, oh my God. It's insane. It actually happened just because I wrote it down. Now, I wrote down some other things that didn't yet come true, but this one came true. When you write things down on paper, eventually it's going to come true. So just it doesn't take this much effort. It's worth trying it out. Just try it out. You don't lose much. A little bit of a paper and that's it. So yeah, this was extremely powerful to me. I'm going to write my goals down every single week. I was about to say every single day. And yeah, I guess I should do it every single day. I think every single day is even better. Why not? And don't only write down small goals, write down big goals. Write down what you want your life to look like on paper. Make it become true in reality. Then your mind is going to try to achieve this. And your subconscious mind is going to try to work on this because you've actually embedded it more in your mind. When when you're trying to learn something, for example, in college, our professor used to tell us, okay, when you write down notes on your laptop, it's not as good for your memory. It doesn't enter your brain as much than when you write things down on paper with your hand. Because you focus more, there's more, it sticks more in your brain when you write things down on paper and when you take notes, when you type. Even if typing is better than just thinking it, right? If you think it, you type it, maybe you hear it, record yourself and you hear it, then it has more ways in which this thing that you write down sticks in your mind and enters your subconscious mind, and just unconsciously you're trying to achieve this without being really proactive toward it. I'm not saying you don't need to be proactive toward it, but it allows you to just find ways, even when you're not trying to achieve your goal. I hope this makes sense. Number 6, very powerful, and most people won't do this. Most people won't have the luxury of having this open-mindedness that it requires. And I promise you it works. It works tremendously well, and someone that didn't believe in God told me it worked. And this is prayers. Prayers. Like, prayer works. I'm telling you. I had a friend. I still have a friend. Fortunately, I still have him. And I'm saying this because he had suicidal thoughts. He became slowly a drug addict, and he couldn't stop anymore. He was like addicted, couldn't stop, and his lifestyle was very poor. He didn't go to the gym as much. He was a gym guy, like me. Like we were friends like since high school, and he went on another path, and he like turned bad. And he realized this, and he went to a clinic to hopefully like have some kind of detox and heal from this. And when I heard that he had these suicidal thoughts, and he like didn't want to live too much anymore, I started praying for him every single night. Before I go to bed, I always pray. And this time, I just said, my God, I pray for this guy. I'm not going to mention his name. I pray for this guy. I hope he goes better. I pray you heal him from whatever bad thoughts or addiction he may have. Make him be well. And I just said that every single night. Something like this, right? Sometimes in my head, sometimes like out loud. Like I just actually said that to pray. I did that, I don't know for how long. Maybe 2-3 weeks. It's just like, it takes like 2-3 seconds to say. It's not something big. And this week, I saw him at the gym. And he was radiant. He was like not addicted anymore. He is right now healed. And it takes a lot to heal someone that is addicted, and especially addicted like him. Like he was just not doing just weed or something like this. He was like bad, hard drugs. Like it was bad. And you could see it on himself. Like he was not good. And now I saw it. I was like, who is this guy? And I told him, I was like, what happened at the clinic? And he told me, explained to me a little bit about, I was like, like, dude, I prayed for you. I prayed for you every night. I didn't say every night. I prayed for you. And he was like, well, dude, it worked. And I'm telling you, it works. I prayed for a lot of things, and I promise you, they come true. Every time I stop praying, I see life going in the other direction. I see the progress I was making by praying and by, of course, taking action. They stop. But when I continually pray, it just all the time, I realize when I think about it again, and I pray every time, right? So I pray for someone else, for example, and I continue praying for this person, and next thing you know, I pray again for this person. I realize, oh my God, this is fixed. This is fixed. Like the thing that I was praying for this person doesn't have this problem anymore. It works. It's insane. Like it's magical. Sometimes like I'm emotional when I think about this because it's magic. It's the magic of God. I promise you, if you like, one thing that will be insanely useful to you is having faith. And this is the thing, when you have faith and you continually pray and you continually take action, no matter what feedback you get in the moment, and you believe that in time, God will make it come true for you, it will, like, you're not going to give up, and you're going to actually achieve your goals. This is like insanely useful. Use it. Like, I promise you, you won't. The last thing that you will regret doing is doing this. Like, just try it out. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? What's the worst thing that can happen believing in God? Oh, you become a better person? Ha! Yes, it's hard to change your perception of your reality. It's hard to do it. But if you just open your mind to it and you just accept to be a little uncomfortable in the beginning, thousands of doors will open for you. Everything will flow naturally. Like, the world is going to give you what you want. If it is a good thing. If it is, like, for example, before the call, when I got this client this week, before the call, I did the sign of the cross. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. I said that out loud. I said, God, may this call be in your hands. Whatever happens, I am in your hands. This call is in your hands, and it is good. I didn't care. Like, I was like, and then the 7th point is, I honestly tried to serve, and I put my goal and what I needed to do in God's hands. This is the 7th point. And to do what's best for others, like try to truly serve and love, right? I did this, and I promise you, these things work. Like, I did not believe this before. I promise you. I did not believe this at all. I started believing it because I just tried out. At one point, I was like, what do I have to lose, right? Well, let's see. I don't know what to tell you. It works tremendously well, and it's the highest return on investment that you can do. Like, in my life, I have priorities, right? In my life, right now, my number one priority is not business. It used to be business. It jeopardized my health, so I stopped doing this. I put my health above, right? And now, even above my health is faith. It's my faith to God and Jesus Christ. I promise you, this might seem like I'm preaching to you. It's not. Like, it's just like, this is what I do. It's so, it works, dude. Like, even if it's just like purely selfishly for yourself, you should do it. You should try it out. You got nothing to lose. The worst thing that can happen is your life become better. Your life becomes better, and you become a better person. Honestly. Because the 7th point is trying to actually serve. And try to do the thing that will actually help others. And when you try to help others, your confidence increases because you're less focused on yourself. You're less focused on how to look, right? I look good. Do I look good right now? I want to appear in a certain way, right? No, you don't care. You're just selflessly trying to serve, trying to, like, you love people. You try to help you. I'm trying to help you out now. I'm trying to help you out and tell you, like, this is the path to actually achieve your goal. This is the path to actually, like, live your dream life and live this awesome life that you want to live and that you actually deserve. But to do this, like, it's going to be very hard. You need help. And the help of God is the best help you can get. The 8th thing is suffering. It's pain. And it's useful because I realized this when this week at the gym, I had a goal. I started like 3 weeks ago, something like this, to walk on the, well, not work, to climb, to do the stairs machine, right? To climb stairs, I don't know, to walk stairs, anyway, I used to do like 500 stairs in a row, and I was done. I was like, whoa. Then next week I did something like 600, and I just increased by 100 every time. Now 100 to 150 depends. This week I was trying to do 900, and it was extremely painful. And with each steps, I felt it because it was so undeniably and extremely hard for me to do this. It was excruciating pain. It was so hard. I want to quit. I want to, like, put my hands on the machine and stop every single time. And I just prevented myself from doing this. I just, like, tried to be, like, aware of my hands and just put them in my back, right? Try to not stop the machine. And with each steps I take, this is what I wrote down, just like right after I did that. The more steps I take, the more my confidence increase. Each step in this difficulty fueled my confidence. And bit by bit, I started feeling more and more invincible. Each step, like really, it was a fuel to my confidence. I felt more confident every time I took a single step, because it was a step that was like, it was proof every single time that I was doing something very hard and doing something that I said I was going to do. This was like the obvious truth. And so it increased my confidence. And because I did something that was undeniably extremely hard for me, it was a new level of effort and pain. I was becoming able to endure. And when you see yourself like becoming better, you become more confident. You become like, what can happen now? Now here in France, it became very, very cold. And now the cold shower that I used to take in the morning, I take every time, like it's been like 3-4 years I've been taking a cold shower every single day. And now, in this time of the year, the cold showers are cold, like really cold. Like I think it's negative degrees, right? And negative Celsius degrees. I think it's worse than negative Fahrenheit degrees. I think so. And anyway, when I do this cold shower, it's so hot. I feel more confident. I'm like, okay, if I can do this, I can do a lot more things. If I can do this, all these other business challenges are like pretty easy to do. There's like not much like physical suffering in this. And so yeah, this is extremely useful. And the last thing, it's a number 9. I said 8 things. Well, I meant 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exactly 9. The ninth thing is to define who you currently are. Because it will show you the way, the direction toward which to go. What I did this week, or maybe it was last week, is I defined my current self. I described where I currently was and what I was not happy about, and just the truth about my situation right now. And I also took the MBTI personality test. And this test is very useful because it shows you where you stand on certain traits that you have. And oftentimes, you'll see, for example, for me, I'm a lot in the introversion path. I'm a lot more introvert than I am extroverted. And so I realized that to achieve my goal, it's funny because I need to do the opposite. I need to become the opposite of where I am currently. When you see on these like binary poles that you have, okay, you're like logical. Well, you need maybe to become more emotional. You're very extroverted. Maybe you need to become more introverted and maybe more thoughtful and think for yourself alone. And once you see this, where you currently are, by the way, the MBTI test, it's a personality test. It's not a test that is like just defines who you are and this is who you need to be for the rest of your life. Don't use it like this. It will just do more harm than good. The way you use this is like you take it and you see where you need to go. All right, to achieve my goals, oftentimes it's the opposite that you need to do. Right? Oftentimes people are shy, introverted, like to sing. And I know like one of my cousins is like this. She's shy and introverted, but she loves to sing. And I bet she'd love to dance as well. And be extroverted and have all the attention on her. But she's too shy. But to achieve her goal, her true goal, I don't think she wants to admit that this is her goal, but if she wants to become this person that I bet she would like to be, she needs to become more extroverted, right? She needs to change. And you can change. Like this test, I think it was denied by scientific like groups because people did get different results. But the thing is, like, it's normal that people get different results because people change. And, you know, you need to change to achieve your goal. So yeah, you can just go on MBTI 16 personalities or something like this and just take the test, answer the questions, and see where you stand. And now you will see like the best thing is to be around the middle. If you are too much in the extreme in one part, oftentimes you'll have to just work to go in the other way, either a little bit or either a lot, depending on your goals. So if you like this podcast, if you like this video, like it, share it with your friend if you think it might help them. And yeah, tell me down below which of these things helped you the most. And I'll see you in another episode. Take care.